evening, everybody, and welcome to Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars. I just exhaled, but I mistimed. Welcome to Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars. I hope everyone is having a wonderful night tonight. We got some interesting stuff going on. Got some guests coming in tonight. Got some different things happening, so it'll be a pretty good show tonight. If I can find my mouse, there it is. I'll be a lot happier. I want to kick off the show by sending a shout out to one of our longtime show sponsors, Crescent Canna CBD products. Check them out. I've been using them for years. The CBD tinctures or drops or what I use, Lynn uses. This stuff is awesome. This has given me my life back without having a lot of pills and things like that I'm taking. In fact, the only thing I take is this. And it takes care of pretty much everything, all the issues I've got, all the pain issues that I have. It does a really, really good job. You need to check out Crescent Canna. And don't forget, if you use the discount code EDGE2023, you get 30% off your entire order. Now, with that being said, this is going to be said. Crescent Canna also makes THC products. That's the big thing with the CBD business. People have gotten, they've use both plants now, hemp and weed. But Crescent Canna came out, and we had the co-founder of Crescent Canna on the show last week, and he was talking about Crescent Canna's Crescent 9 THC seltzer. And I thought that was kind of cool. They sent me a case of it. This is it. It's THC seltzer, and everybody knows I'm a bartender. So seltzer was an additive I used in the bar and a lot of drinks. So tonight I got a little bit of Johnny Blender's cream soda moonshine that we made fresh last week, and I'm gonna try a little of this seltzer, Crescent Canna seltzer. It's got a good taste. It's very citrusy. Lemon, limes, oranges, maybe a little pineapple, maybe a little peach too. Pretty good. But we're going to put a little of this in with our Johnny Blender's own special brew. I'm going to stir it up here a little bit. Let's see how this tastes. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's that's a nice fruity mixture. That's really good. Our drinking glass tonight is supplied by, I thought this was the Matco glass. I'm sorry. Sorry, Randy. I thought this was your glass tonight. Too bad. This one was sent to me by Suzanne Jones and Mike Jones. Awesome. Got a little cigar holder right there. Put my cigar in. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm smoking it. But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, that's really good. But don't forget to check out Crescent Canna. Like I said, me and Lynn swear by their CBD products. Have been using them for about 5 years. And they're just absolutely life-changing for us. We've got some guests coming on tonight. I can see them in the green room already. So if both of y'all can hear me, just wave. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so we'll bring them on, and we'll bring the first one on in a minute. But let me pay a few bills. Let me talk about another one of our show sponsors. My buddy Ron Bieberstein, owner of Coal Fire Super Systems. Coal Fire Super Systems is the unbelievable driver protection system for onboard for cars. You'll love it. I've got one system on the Fury Dragster. We're going to be putting another system on it as well. And I can't say enough about this. Ron and his wife own this company. They've developed this system. It is away from all the SFI stuff and cost, and it's self-maintainable. A small bottle of nitrogen, like an air gun recharged bottle of nitrogen in your trailer. If something happens and you have to light the system off, the great thing about this is you can unscrew the top, put another liter of solution in it, reset the head, screw it back on, charge it with nitrogen, put it back on the system. And instead of having to wait for weeks for you to send your bottle out and stop racing that day, send it out, get it redone, get it sent back to you, paying $500 or $600 to do this. This is a one-time thing. The bottle is stainless steel. It's good for 6 years. The reason that it's good for 6 years instead of a 2-year or 3-year stamp, Underwriter Laboratories told Mr. Ron that he had to have a determination on it for time. 6 years was the max, so that's what the max on it is. It's a great system. You need to check it out. Don't forget, if you call Coal Fire Super Systems and talk to Mr. Ron, be sure and mention this show and receive an added discount on your system. So that's two sponsors we talked about already. I wanted to get those down tonight because they've been really, really good to us and have been sticking with us for years. They've stuck with us through COVID, and we cannot say enough about that. Now, since I've been talking so fast, let me see if this THC seltzer and moonshine will help me slow down a little bit. Oh, man, that's just good stuff. All right, so we got that taken care of. All right, first person I'm bringing on the show tonight. Let me jump over here on this computer. I'm getting all this technology, and it's really cool because we're going to have J.D. Sowers from Sherv Media on in a little while, and he's going to be telling you about some of the new updates that we're doing. But I'm not going to say anything about that till I got him on here. But I do want to remind everybody that June 16th and 17th, the 2023 Nostalgia Night Race Series by Johnny and Ann Jordan at North Florida Motorplex has been canceled due to upcoming bad weather, ongoing bad weather, and I think they're looking at 50 or 60% chance of rain for this weekend. So this was a race that was rained out earlier in the year. This was the reschedule of it. So I'm sure once Mr. Johnny gets everything taken care of and straightened out, they will either, my guess he will either reschedule this race, or he's got his September race and Hall of Fame dinner. He may combine the two. I'm not saying that's what he's going to do. I'm just saying that if he's got to look at June, July, and August, and then his next event September, it may be just easier to combine the two. So we'll see what Mr. Johnny has to say about that, and we'll promote and talk about whatever his decision is. He's a great guy, and we really have enjoyed promoting his events and working with him over the last few years. All right, so with that being said, now we're going to be talking. Hold on. There we go. We're going to be talking and bringing on the show right now Mr. Denny Parison. I'm bringing you in. Am I saying that last name right?
Actually, you got it closer than most do. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing outstanding, sir. Now, Mr. Denny here has a race that's Race for the House at Maple Grove Dragway this weekend. Yep. Gates open at 7 a.m., and this is for the Ronald McDonald House. I'm going to go over this a little bit on his flyer and talk about some of the stuff on this before I bounce to you, Mr. Denny. But I just want to tell you, thank you for this event. Thank you for what you do. I love givers because there are so many takers in the world. So when somebody gives back, especially to the sport of drag racing, especially to these kids, that touches my heart. Yeah. But with that being said, Maple Grove Raceway this weekend, gates open at 7 a.m. Time trials start at 8:30 a.m. 12:30 will be a driver's meeting, and round one after that. The great thing about this, I've got some stuff out and some messages out to some of the military installations around this location. I've sent some flyers out for them to get up on their boards and post on their activity rooms and things like that. So we're going to try to get some racers out there. It's $20 per carload for spectators. So all my active duty military friends, all my veteran friends, get in touch with your kids, especially my veteran friends, all got kids in the military. Get in touch with them if they're in this area and tell them about this event. $20 per carload. You can load the car up, man. I mean, you can go for the Guinness Book of World Records of Marines in a car. I'm sure there's got to be something out there about that. $20, a great day, great food. I've been hearing rumors about the food at Maple Grove for a while. A great cause, and a day of drag racing. Now, I'm going to jump on here and talk to Mr. Denny a little bit. Then we're going to talk about some of the sponsors of this event, because we always want to mention the sponsors on these things because they're the ones that really make this happen. All right, man, I'm through blowing hot air. Now, what you got?
Well, I'm going to stop you right there because you just said something about bringing in the active military and whatnot for $20 for a carload. I decided I can't do that any longer, not with good conscience anyway, sir. Please inform everybody that if you are an active member of the service, or even if you're a veteran or whatever, if you show up on our doorstep and you have a card in your wallet or you're in uniform, you and everybody in that car are coming in for free. How's that? I mean, there's no better way to give back than to share.
I stand up for you, sir. I applaud you for that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So
Thank
now,
well, hey, Johnny, that's because of you and our conversation the other day. Gave me the bright idea.
Man, I love that. And JD, I know you're in the green room right now and you can hear this. So we got some work to do after the show, baby.
Well, my thought is this simply, we all owe a debt of gratitude year after year after year. And you're right. There are a lot of takers in the world. I like how you put that. And I'm on this world for a short time. We all are. If there's something I can do to say thank you, why not? I mean, honestly, it's $20 a card that we won't get, but I've never seen anybody come in and not throw a couple dollars into the donation jar or buy a shirt or even just have such a good time that they tell somebody for the next time.
That's right.
That's right. It pays for itself 10 times full to have somebody in the gate. So honestly, everybody in the armed services, I thank you from my heart. And this isn't a big deal, really, but it's all that I can do on a large level.
That's unbelievable. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I can't let you drive. It's only to watch. But
I understand. I understand. How long have you been doing this race?
Well, the race itself, I've been doing for, I'm guesstimating now. I get asked this a lot, and I always say I'm going to do some research, and I never do. It's been 10, 12 years maybe. It stems back to 20 years ago. I was working at a Corvette shop, and we decided we needed to let people know that we were there, okay? So everybody's throwing out all these different ideas, and I came up with the idea of the Ronald McDonald House. Let's have a toy drive. The reason for that is because my son was born 2 months premature back in 1980, when that meant almost a certain death back then.
That's right.
About it 40 years ago. Well, he had a real tough time, and I was there. I would get done work. I was working in Royersford, an ice cream factory. And I would get done work between 1:30 and 3:30 in the afternoon, depending on which shift I had to do.
Right.
I would go there and I'd stay there till 8 o'clock at night. And sometimes they let me stay a little bit longer. And I would just be with them. You know, I mean, that's what a father does, right?
Right. Exactly.
Well, every single night, the Ronald McDonald House, this new place that started in, I think it was 74, 76, still pretty new, says they come up to me and they said, "You are tired. You're doing this every night from where you live to here. You need to stay with us." And I just figured it would be too hard to get up at 3 a.m. to go to work, you know. And so I always said no. But the thing that never ended was their hand to me. They said, "How about tonight?" Well, in 2 months, we got to be friendly and everything. And they were just such wonderful people. Long story short, my son is in his 40s and he's doing great and everything, you know. So let's go back to the toy drive. We tried a couple other places and they were like, "Well, send us the money and you can give the toys to a local charity." And I was like, "You don't understand. This is something that I think is going to take off." Well, here it is 20 years later. Every year I have the toy drive. Well, I've been doing a dinner and then the drag race and then the breakfast and then the toy drive in December. I was trying to do like every quarter, you know.
Right.
This year I didn't do the dinner or the breakfast. It's kind of lost its thing. I tried different things.
Right.
Like we did go-kart racing at one time. That was fun for a couple of years. But anyway, and if I'm taking too much time to tell the story, cut me off.
You're good.
But so
good stories need to be told.
Well, cool. I like that. So we started the toy drive. 20 years later, here we are. And about 10 years into it, maybe, the guys were like, it was so at the beginning, I still have the Santa suit. And I was sitting in the staging lanes of my car. And I was like, there's no way. These guys want me to do something this summer. I was like, there's no way I'm putting this Santa suit on in the summertime. It's just not going to happen. It is too hot.
Right.
I'm sitting in the staging lanes and I was thinking to myself, we should race for the Ronald McDonald House. And that was it. I went to the general manager at the time at Maple Grove and I said, I got this idea. And I don't think I was there for 2 minutes. And he said, I love it. Let's do it. And that proceeded a couple times per year until we got big enough that we were able to rent the track ourselves. Fast forward now to now. Every year, we manage to deliver a box truckload of toys, about 70 to 80 some contractor bags of brand new toys, unwrapped, just ready to go. And I have no idea what that value is monetarily, but I'll tell you what, if you see the smile on those kids while they're walking up and down the halls, it's priceless.
Right.
And what they do is, and at the McDonald's house, they have what they call a welcome wagon. And they keep it full. And when the kids come in, the siblings and everything, because it's a bad day for them too when their sister or brother's in a hospital. Well, they get free toys. And we put toys in every floor at the hospitals too. So we do a lot as far as the toys go. Now, as far as the money goes, we started this whole thing off with 2 bags of toys the first year and $1,350. We rounded it up to $1,500 at the place, and we gave them the check. Next year, it doubled. Year after that, it doubled. And here we are now. Last year, I wrote a check for $59,000. And to date, not including so far this year, but at the end of 2022, we have given them $464,000 and some odd dollars. So that we're real close to $500,000. And at the end of this
year, just a second, Mr. Denny. I had a little faux pas.
I was saying that up to this year now, not including
JD, shake your head. Can you hear me?
Yep.
You can? Okay.
Yep.
I lost my sound, and I think I have put the wrong. I was hearing a little bit of feedback, so I wanted to put the headphone in, and I may have put the mic in there instead. It wouldn't be a Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars show if I didn't make a.
I'm getting thirsty just listening to the drink you made earlier.
There, you hear me now?
I hear you still.
There it is. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just make one of those cocktails for the rest of us, okay? Because that sounded pretty good.
Good deal.
Okay. So anyway, what I was saying is to date we're up to over $464,000, and at the end of this year I will be over $500,000 I've raised. Or we raised, not just me.
Right. I applaud you for this. This is just the best thing in the world. And I told you the other day when I talked to you, the Edge Radio and Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars, we're in this now with you for the long haul. We want to be there for you. We want to do everything we can help. And hopefully we'll be able to get up there some.
That would be wonderful. That really would. It all starts with just one person being happy and telling a friend.
That's right.
I have a core of people. I could name them all if we had enough time, but I'm just going to say my people know who they are. They call themselves the elves. I call them the angels.
That's right.
And these folks, men and women, young and old, every year, and some of them every single event, are there to do wonderful, awesome things. I have a guy who Friday night, if you're there to practice for the next day, he would make you a hot dog and throw in a drink or something. Well, that turned into Dog Fest. Dog Fest now has enough food to cover 200-300, maybe more people. He wanted to have shirts for fun to sell and donate the money. He went to his printer friend and said, I want to do these shirts. I got a design. He and I believe his niece, Erin, Dave and Erin, and his wife, Kathy, they went to the printer, and the printer said, tell you what, you get some friends together. And he said, elves. He says, you come on down here at 7 o'clock Saturday morning, and I'll show you how to do it. And I'll donate the ink and the stuff, and you guys do it. So they did. They got up on Saturday morning. They went and they made dozens and dozens of these shirts, brought them to Dog Fest, and we took donations for them. And this is the kind of stuff that happens. I have a guy, Dave does, has a guy who's bringing half a pig this year as a pig roast that he's donating, cooked, ready to go, that he does. I have people that make Well, again, Dave has people that make potato salad, macaroni salad, desserts, full meals, sliders, burgers, hot dogs, anything and everything that you would have at a picnic times 10. And he has a place that also donated 200 drinks for us, It's just, that's the fun we have.
That's
The
good.
Ronald McDonald has a fellow called Anthony Stouffer, who is a Marine, a former Marine, and he and Jimmy Murray, one of the two. Jimmy Murray, I don't know if you know the story of how the McDonald's house started. I should probably tell you that real quick. But they're both Marines, former Marines. I remember. I remember. And they're usually there. Now, Jimmy won't be this year, but there is a doctor of oncology for kids, and her name was Dr. Audrey Evans. Dr. Audrey Evans found an immediate need for families to be with their kids while they're in the hospital. I mean,
right.
Yes, of course. And Philadelphia has people coming in from all around the world. And
Right.
they were very busy, and families were going through some hard times. Okay, so she went to Jimmy Murray at the Philadelphia Eagles. He worked in the office there. And Jimmy said, well, what are you looking for? She goes, well, I need a home to put these families in. So they gave her a blank check to go find a home. And I think it was like a 4-room, 4-family place or something like that. And I think it was full by the end of the day, if not the week. And she went back to Jimmy and said, Jimmy, we got to do way better than this. So he says, well, I have this one place that I think could be good sponsors for us. We'll go over here to the Ronald McDonald Burger place. So they go over there and they talk to McDonald's people, and they said, well, we'll contribute. And what we're going to do is ask that 25 Shamrock milkshake. And in turn, you have to call it the Ronald McDonald House. Well, Jimmy and Dr. Evans, they're like, I don't care what you want to call it. We just want to get the place. Well, the first real McDonald's house is huge. It takes care of 64, I think it is, families at a time. And they just put up 2 towers through a $54 million donation. 50 one person.
When I lived in Philadelphia,
okay.
86, 87, maybe 88, in that town. I wasn't there for a while. I was working with a company that had transferred me there, and I was there for about 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
But I met people who were staying at the Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah. Yep. Well, now they take care of 122 families now per night. And so that's what really happened. Now, Dr. Audrey Evans just passed away not too long ago, a few months ago. Jimmy Murray is still alive. He's still with us. And I had the pleasure of meeting both of them on several occasions and talking with them and everything. And Jimmy is still that big smile kind of guy from the Eagles, and everything he says references football. You ask him how he's doing, he say, we're going for the touchdown and stuff like that.
There you go.
Yeah, so we have different things like that. And now, as far as drag racing goes, we've been very fortunate. We've had like Street Outlaws come out. Chris Rankin came out, and he brought Kiko out, and that was a pretty cool day. Brock Yates. He from Brock. Okay, well, Brock is a friend of mine as well, and he comes out every year, and that's pretty cool. And last year we had Tony Angelo from Hot Rod Garage. Well, he's coming back again this year with his Firebird, which I thought was really cool. A repeat. Right. Which is really nice, and people enjoy that. So it's just that each year it gets a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and it just means a little bit more to one person. That's all it takes.
That's right.
Anything you are doing, like what you're doing right now for me, is really for the kids. It's for the families.
Exactly.
It's how it happens. And each year it gets bigger and bigger. Maple Grove is an unbelievable place. If you've been there, it's top notch. It's beautiful.
Right.
The Kretzky's own it now.
Yeah.
They sold it from the Stauffer family. And I've been racing there for over 20 years myself.
Okay.
And it's just a good deal all the way around.
All right, let me jump in here real quick because I want to mention some of the stuff on the flyer real quick. My buddy Jim Cummins and the East Coast Fuelers are going to be attending this event. So they're going to be having some match races with some of the Fuelers and the Alters there.
Yep, they will be coming on at 12.
Okay, and then you've got a Mandra race. sponsored by Iron Horse Construction.
Mandra, yeah.
Mandra, you have to,
that's
man,
okay.
I say at least 20 wrong words a night. So that and your name was the first two I've done so far.
You did good. Go ahead.
So there's plenty more coming. All right. Then the beginners class they've got sponsored by Safeco Insurance.
Yep.
Proud partners, Access Insurance Agency.
Yep.
The RM2 Street and Pro class is sponsored by Givier's Auto Clinic and Trailer Sales. Phil and Dawn, oh my God, Molicella.
That's it.
Oh, I got it right. Hey, so that doesn't count against
okay.
me. So that's what the Super Gas is hosted by High Grade Maintenance Solutions.
Yeah.
And that's a winner is $1,000. Runner up is $500. Then you got Junior Street class sponsored by A1 Mulch and A1 Towing.
Yeah.
You've got Junior Dragster sponsored by Pray Hard Racing. That's a $400 for winner, $200 for runner up. They got a last chance money race sponsored by Wrestler Racing, $1,500 for the winner, $1,000 for the runner up. All right, now let me scroll down here a minute because I want to make sure I can get all the ones on here that I can read.
Appreciate it.
Daryl Tillman Real Estate Group. These are track sponsors as well.
Yeah.
Iron Horse Construction. J. Brom, Hell's Hemi, Windridge Farms.
Yeah.
Pam Finkbeiner.
Yep.
Boy, I'm glad I got that one right. There's nothing worse than having a woman mad at you for saying your name wrong.
Yeah, and you better believe that.
That's the Stottlemyre family. And I see a thing on here in memory of Cindy Yates.
Yeah.
So this is for the Ronald McDonald House, a great organization. It's great people like you that get out and help do these events and do everything, put them together. And I can tell you this from some of the events that we've done with different children's causes. It does not, you can, until you do an event any size, doesn't matter if it's small or large, you have no idea how draining it is because of everything you kind of do. And I'm one of those weird individuals that my mind is always working. So I will have an idea about doing something while I'm explaining on how we're doing something to somebody else.
Yep.
So, it's one of those things. I appreciate what you and your people you and the elves have done. Big shout out, standing ovation I gave to you when you told me that with the military. Same thing, one more time. In fact, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to do it again. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
And like I said, we're here for the long haul. So anytime you've got something coming up, be sure and get me information on it.
I'll do that.
We've got some interesting things that we're working on behind the scenes. Hopefully that will help your Christmas toy drive.
That would be wonderful.
So when we get through with this one, and we've got a lot of legwork that we've been putting in and things we've been putting in place, we're going to work on that and hopefully be able to be an elf. I may be the biggest elf you got, but I'm an elf.
No, you're not.
An elf. Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, no. Can I say just one more minute thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Those sponsors that you read, I want you to know that they are repeat sponsors. They come back every year with all that money. Okay. They're not just fly by night. They believe in this. All them sponsors on that flyer, which I hope you have on your site and people can go look at.
Right. We do.
Graphic Impressions. They do all the design of the flyers, and they never charge me a penny for all the flyers, thousands of flyers, posters, anything like that.
And Iron Horse Construction does all the trophies.
Every single year, Iron Horse is there. And Apex, that is part of the Stottlemyre family. He's there every year and races as well. He comes down and helps us deliver the toys, which I invite everybody to do. When we go down a week after the toy drive, we deliver the toys, and it's a nice little get together. We go in and we show a force. The McDonald's house, when somebody is in the hospital, when their kids are in the hospital, and you're talking not days, but months and over a year sometimes. Many people lose their job. Some have lost their homes. The McDonald's house picks up their mortgage. And that's where our money comes into play. We've said it's $15 a night is what the average cost to put a family up. It's actually rose to $25 a night is what the actual cost is. The McDonald's house covers that if the people don't have that. And that's where what we're doing now, that's where that money comes into play. We help to take care of those families that can't afford it. We help to feed them because they feed them a gourmet meal by different guest chefs every day. They have homes that clean everything, brand new clean everything. The toys, computers to use for work, washers and dryers. I mean, you are at a home away from home. And you really need to go and investigate this place to really know how they are. 93 cents of every dollar they get goes to the good.
And that's unbelievable because, I get frustrated sometimes when I read the profit and loss reports on some of these big companies that do, they're just doing so much, but 98 cents of every dollar they make is to their operation expenses. 2%
March of dimes is that they get a dime.
2% it goes to the veterans,
exactly,
or whatever it may be. Yeah, exactly. And it seems like the bigger the company is, and the more famous they are, the less that actually goes to the cause.
And look at what the presidents get of those companies. It's published.
Yeah.
One Sky Media is the webmaster who does my website that I see you have there for me. Thank you very much. There is a donate button there, and there's also a vote for your favorite driver there. The vote for your favorite driver, this is the second year, and S&W Race Cars has made us a crown for the second year in a row, and it's a real nice one, a real nice crown that we crown the winner of Vote for Your Favorite Driver that Tony Angelo will award to them again. If you go onto my website, you can see it all under videos, under pictures. You can donate right there where it says PayPal. Click that, and it'll go farther. If you don't have PayPal, there's a button under that that says use your credit card.
Okay.
$15 for that. I know I'm probably pushing my time limit already, but I had so much, and I'm energized talking to you.
Oh no, man! I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with us about it. Like I told you, Jim Cummins is a really, really good friend of mine, and
He's
when
cool.
we talked, he said, John, he said, this is something I'd really like to see you get involved with, and I was like, okay, big guy, that's all you had to say. I'm there. And I started messaging you the next day.
Yep. It was awesome. It was like it was meant to be, dude.
I appreciate it, man. I thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you.
We'll get more stuff. My wife, I see I got just a ton of comments here. My wife is probably posted stuff as we're speaking. She's inside the house doing stuff on the other computer. She's trying to follow all the links and post stuff while having to investigate and find some of. So she does a really good job.
That's awesome.
What she does. So I appreciate that. But I hope y'all have a great race this weekend.
Don't worry about the weather. The weather's a lie. The weather's a lie.
Don't worry about it. Hey, I'm going to make a call after the show. I got the weather. It'll be okay.
That's what I'm asking for. That's all I ask for. God bless.
All right, man. I sure do appreciate it. And thank you. And remember, anytime you've got anything, and if you've got any updates on how things are going after the event please come back and let me know. Come back on the show so we can talk about that. And if nothing else, just make people's heart feel warm.
Well, I appreciate all that, and I hope we have a nice, strong showing of the military. They come out and make our day by just showing us that they're just as human as anybody else, and we need to respect them and love them and thank them every day.
That's right.
So, okay. Thank you, John.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. It was great talking to you.
So long, folks. Thank you very much. See you Saturday.
Yes, sir. All right, man. That was just awesome. That was, man, that I feel great. I feel great after that. That does my heart some good. Hey, TC, man, you there? You there, TC?
I'm here.
I'm here. People around. I'm trying to get everything. I'm trying to get rid of you, Daddy. I mean, all right, let me play with some buttons for a little bit. I'll get more stuff back up in a minute. Hold on.
I'm here.
Let me see if that helped. Oh, there we are.
There we go.
Yeah, man. How you doing, man?
We're doing real good. Thanks for having me on.
Man, I'm hot and I'm tired.
Yeah, and excited too, man. That was awesome what he's doing.
That's great, man. That's great. We got to get involved with that next year. All right.
Sure
So
enough.
everybody knows I've been talking about JD Sowers and Sheriff Media Production for the last month and a half, 2 months on the show. We've got a strategic alliance between our two companies that we're working together for a bunch of different things. JD is a very, very tech savvy person, and I am a very, very headstrong, balls to the wall, get stuff done type person. So the two of us have worked together with another company that JD was with several years ago. And we were fortunate to hook back up and start talking to each other, I guess, around the beginning of the year. And since then, we've been working together. JD's been helping us, helping me with the show. And we've got some big changes coming on. JD's working with the show. He's working, with the Edge Radio US. We've got a lot of things that we're looking at happening this year, and we will keep you informed on those as they're coming up. Now, right now, you see that we use a program. Hold on. Before I say another word or ask JD to say anything, let me jump over and check some of these comments real quick, because I really hate it when I forget to talk about people or give them shout-outs. All right, let me get down here. And Jimmy Turk, good evening, buddy. Randy Bomber, glad you tuned in. I hope you are doing fine. Randy, I got a bottle with your name on it, buddy. Dave Batchelor, Richard Hernsberger, hey, buddy, how are you doing? Kathy Batchelor, I wonder if she's any kin. Glenn Culbertson, hey, buddy, how are you doing? Mighty Mouse is in the house. Yes, I already announced on Johnny's race. Vote for Batch. There you go. Vote for Batch for the driver. Hey, look at that. I love that people politicking on the show. But everybody knows that we use this StreamYard software for our broadcast software. And one of the things that JD and Sheriff Media Production has brought to our attention and migrating us away from is StreamYard. And we are looking at where it looks like we're going to start doing the show with a new type of software that's kind of the same thing, but I'll let JD, it's called Streamlabs. Yes. Getting on the show will still be easy. Watching the show will still be easy, but it's going to save a lot of the hour and a half post-production I do after the show goes off, getting it on all these other places. So I'm going to let JD talk a little bit about Streamlabs.
Well, not only that, the how much easier it'll be post-production for the show, but also interactive with everybody that's watching the show. It's easier for the people that are on the show to keep track of chats. The tickers and banners and everything that you see on here, they're the same in both of them. It has the ability to where can do polls right during the show. So if
we could have done his driver poll during the show.
Yes, exactly. You could have done a quick, and set it up for however long you want. If you want to do multiple polls throughout the show, you can set timers for each one of them. Say that you want it to go for 5 minutes. Okay. That poll will go on and it'll close after 5 minutes, and then it'll tabulate and give you all your results. You can do giveaways. If you want to do a giveaway on the show, for whatever organization or whatever, that ability is there as well. So it's, as far as what everybody sees, it'll look pretty much similar to what is here now, but everything on the backside that makes the show more engaging, and will be able to attract more viewers, is the reason why a switch is possible.
Right. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I've got some, I've just kind of gotten this worked out, and I'm not a big fan of technology. I really love the things that technology does. The problem is I just don't have time to learn the technology. So that was one of the great things, us forming an alliance together, is you're able to kind of help me out with this stuff and actually carry some of the load. Now, I've got on the streamer the ticker on the bottom.
Yep.
It'll come back through in just a minute, and I'll read it because I'll be damned if I can remember what it says, and I wrote it. Contact info, shervmedia.biz, or like on Facebook. Get 10% off your next order on banners, flyers, marketing, and promotions. So people can reach out and talk to you about that.
Yes.
And one of the great things, and one of the things that we've talked about and are working with, is we're going to start working with some of the tracks and trying to get in and start helping them with their banners. And just having a banner and getting 2 reams of paper printed with banners on it is awesome for 50 miles around you.
Right.
But when you can take that same banner or that same flyer and attach it and to the social media and all the other streams that we're currently running, and all the locations that the show and the radio station are broadcasting, it really ups the ante on more people in that same 50-mile, 100-mile area, hearing it, seeing it, and finding out about it.
Right. And another thing that's instrumental and stuff like that is if people can get email lists, and then you use programs like MailChimp or something like that there just to broadcast it that way. So it gets the word out even more.
Right. And I will say this, with some of the races from that really nice racetrack that we both like in South Carolina.
Yes.
You really did some great marketing and promoting on their events that they had.
Thank you.
So, I don't know if anyone else told you how happy they were with the work that you did on that, but I sure was.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, all right, man, what else is going on?
Well, every weekend, I'm out hitting car shows up in what we call the DMV area, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia. I hit those areas there, a little bit on the lower end of Pennsylvania. I hit the car shows up over there, take pictures and make that product available, which is something that people might not have the opportunity to get, is quality images of their car that they can be proud of, to show their friends and family.
Right. And you do big images also. I mean, you just, a lot of people say they get the 8x10s of their car, but you do larger images of that.
Yeah, I can do all the way in-house up to a 24x36.
So they can get a poster of their car.
They can. And it's different than what a lot of people get if they go to a local place, because a local place is more, they don't have the same philosophy that a photographer or somebody that's marketing their images. If a person that's marketing their images, they want the quality across the board. So I don't buy the cheapest paper that I can get. I buy quality papers. Same way with the inks. I only go with the manufacturer's inks for the printer. And like I said, in-house, my printer will do 24 wide. So a 24x36 is easy in-house. And I also have access to where I can do larger prints as well, even bigger than that.
Right. And that's great to know. And like, you're going to be seeing more of Sherv Media's production on all of the Whiskey Cars and Cigars, Edge Radio. You're going to be seeing more of his stuff and promoting it, because like I said, we have formed a strategic alliance between our 2 companies, or our 4 companies, and we're going to be doing some pretty interesting things. And I really see a few groundbreaking things on the way, because I think you've even told me this. My mind ain't right.
We'll keep what we talk about behind the scenes.
Yeah, but I mean, another big player in the automotive business that we both know. After I originally had some conversations with him, and proposed to him what my plan was and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to help him. His comment was, he goes, John, I really like talking to you. I really like the way you think, but you may be the worst businessman I have ever met. And then flashback a year later, and we had all kinds of really cool things happening. We had a lot of positive things happening for him. And me and him were talking on the phone one day, and he started laughing. He goes, he was driving to that track up there in South Carolina. And he stopped, or he said, we were talking on the phone, and he stopped me. He said, stop for a minute. He goes, something just popped into my head. He goes, do you remember when we first started talking? You told me everything you wanted to do and how you want to do it, what your vision was and all this stuff. And and it wasn't going to cost me a penny. And I told you were the worst businessman I had ever met. I said, yes, sir, I remember that. He goes, I got to tell you, I was wrong. You may be one of the best businessmen I've ever met. And then when me and you were talking, I think it was one time, he goes, man, you just don't think right. And that, I guess that's the bad businessman in me, not thinking right. I think I believe in the performance-based marketing and sponsoring.
Not only that, I believe in the ability to give the hand up.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, like I said, me and you work really good together. We're on the same page. I'm not going to say you think like I do, but you kind of are just as messed up as I am. You pretty much do. You ain't right either, brother. I just want to tell you that real quick. All right, man. But is there anything else you want to add? Do you have a car show upcoming this weekend?
I got 2 that I'm doing this weekend. Of course, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
It's kind of funny. I get a Mother's Day card every year for that.
Hey, I used to get one too.
Yeah, they spelled mother different though. But yeah, I've never understood it.
Yeah. On Saturday is the 26th annual Car and Truck Show at the Jefferson Ruritan Community Center in Jefferson, Maryland. That show goes from 9 to 3. I'll be at that one at least for a couple hours. And then on Sunday, Father's Day, over at Schaefer Memorial Park there in Boonesboro, Maryland. They also have their show up there is Cruise for Kids, and that also helps underprivileged children.
Right.
And he does 2 big shows a year. This is Father's Day show, and then he does a big trunk or treat show. That show there is on the 18th. Up at Boonesboro at Schaefer Memorial Park. And that show there goes from 10 to 3:30.
Hey, do me a favor. Write this down. Keith Allison, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show tonight. I just saw you pop up, so I wanted to say hello and give you a shout out. But do this a favor. Give me Elizabethtown, Kentucky. See what the distance from that to you is, or you to that is, and let me know off air. Okay. There's something coming up there. I'll send you the information on it. It's in July. And these are some real good friends of mine that do this event or are having this event. It's a barbecue.
Nice.
so it's a car show and a barbecue, and I think it's a anniversary of, I think, one of the last car hop drive-ins in Kentucky. It's been there for I'm thinking the number is 70 years. I may be wrong on that. It's been a while since I looked at the thing, but our good friend John Tomset and Eddie Milburn, our with Crazy Thing Art, the airbrush guy that did the race car helmet, is doing a bunch of murals. Yeah, that word. That's kind of like, hey, I'm as bad on that word as horror.
Right.
I get in trouble on that. When my wife is the twisted Southern horror queen, and people like, she's what?
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound right when I say it. But yeah, check that distance for me and let me know off air, because that's something they contacted me about the other day. And I really like that part of the country. And I'm really considering if I can get everything put back in. Even if I can't get my new body on, I may put the old body back on for that. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. And I've got to reach out. I'm waiting to hear back from one. I've got to reach out to the other. Just so I'm going to see what I can find out. But I wanted to see how close you were, what your distance was from that. Because if it was feasible, it may be a real good opportunity for Sheriff Media as well.
Sure.
Man, is there anything else that you want to add before I get out of here?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm really encouraged about the alliance that we've put together and the changes that we've done so far, and how things are progressing on the things that we talk about behind the scenes that nobody knows about yet.
Right.
And I think this is going to be beneficial for all parties involved.
Right.
Not only me, you, the people watching the show.
Right.
But
it's also the sponsors, exactly. It's everything.
Yes.
So, I just can't say enough, man. Like I said, you put 2 sick minds plus Lynn, you put 3 sick minds in one location at one time. It can't be good. It's like giving a 5-year-old a handgun with the hammer back. You're not real sure what's going to happen, but you want to stick around and watch.
Right.
All right, brother. I appreciate you for coming on tonight.
Anytime. It's a pleasure.
I am going to get out of here in just a minute. I want to get our outro that was done by this little company called Sheriff Media Production.
Thank you again.
So I want to we'll get that going on tonight. Don't forget to like the show, share the show, subscribe to the show on the different formats. You can listen to the show in the morning on iHeartRadio if you're driving to work. There's a ton of places. We've got a ton of links, a ton of hashtags. I'm fighting and screaming, but JD is bringing me into the new millennium. I'm only 23 years late, but I'm making the journey.
Right.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the show tonight. Tune in next week, and we'll have a new week for you, and we'll talk about more stuff. I think we got Chester Taylor's race coming up, so we'll be getting on that. Plus, we're going to be getting on the barbecue at Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I'll let you know about that a little more next week on the show as well. Good night, everybody, and stick around and watch the outro. It's awesome.